Hey guys, today I just wanted to talk to you about animation trees and my thoughts about it. Well, basically the main topic of this video is that I really feel frustrated when I'm working with blueprints in general, and animation blueprints is not the exception. And why I get so bothered when working with it is just that animation blueprints can get really complex. Like you start with one layer, like going down, and then in there you go into another layer, and then you go into another layer, and you see this looping that is happening here. And yeah, you have these states, and inside them you can have another state, and not counting about the wiring between the states, even though now we have this transition that makes it easier. But anyways, I think it's horrible. So I've been working these days on something that I named animation state tree, which, as you can see, well, let's see here, we have all these states, and each state has a transition condition to go there, and to go here it has another condition, etc. But I have been working on this state tree, which is from Mass AI. Well, it's the base of my Mass AI, and it's used to do AI state trees. But I managed to replicate basically the same state tree here in the animation, but in my opinion, a more organized way of visualizing the data. So you have for instance, the locomotion state, which is this one, and inside the locomotion, where is this? It is, yeah, you have the idle and the wall run, idle and wall run, and in idle you just have an idle animation, which in here will be a task with an idle animation, and in the wall run I think it's a blend blend animation, one-dimensional blend animation, which is again here wall run, and is a one-dimensional blend space. And for instance, for the conditions, you can go from idle to wall run if this parameter should move is true, which is set here based on the ground speed, which is no more than the velocity in xy, and if the acceleration is different than 0. So let's see again, where was it? You see this mess. So from idle to wall run. So from idle to wall run you can do the same, but with a transition on tick it will try to go to wall run, and the condition to go into the state is not in the transition itself like it is here. You can do it here, of course, but I think it's more organized if you put it here. In the state you have these enter conditions. This is the task itself, but the enter condition has these conditions that you can choose from: bool, distance, yeah, all sort of stuff. And in this case this is a float compare, in where I'm comparing blend parameters that is a struct that I set in the Anim instance. This state tree is running on the Anim instance, and in the Anim instance I have a structure that I called blend parameters, and is the speed to d, which is the same as you saw here, velocity in xy. I just called it speed to d, and I'm asking, is this greater? Is speed to d greater than 3? Is the same condition here. And also for the acceleration, is acceleration different than 0? Second condition will be here. is a vector compare, and I am just asking if the blend parameters acceleration is different. I am inverting the condition here to 0, and that's it. So if this idle is ticking on each tick, trying to go to wall run, and then the state tree is going to go to wall run and check the conditions. And if these conditions are met, then it will leave the idle state and will go to the wall run and just play this task, which is playing just this blendy 1D blend space, which at the same time I have exposed the x and y parameters to be bind to the blend anim instance blend parameters speed. And that is basically the same as the state tree that we have here that I really dislike. So, oh god, I cannot find my way here. Main states here. So all these conditions are now embedded here in the states itself. Like idle has its enter conditions, each tick you can do a transition to wall run, and for instance if you are in air, how do you transition to inert? You just put the condition here, like in the group, which is the parent of these two states. I just added the condition on tick, try to go to the state in air, and that means each tick it will go to in air, and in here it will test each condition under each node, like is falling, velocity inside is greater than 100. If these conditions are met, then we will leave this whatever state we are here and we will go to inner and jumping. And same if you are walking and suddenly the floor is gone, it will just test, okay, it's falling through, then it's met the condition, we will enter here, and then we are going to play a task, execute a task I mean, and then you will play this animation. And this implementation is straightly, I mean, very easy, like, or not easy, it's just very bare bones, I will say. It does not have all the complexities that you can do here in Anim state tree, but I think with a bit more of work, this can be something very interesting to work on and not having this mess. Well, this is not as messy as other anim blueprints that I have seen, but I think this condensed and more easy to read state tree is way better than animation blueprints. So as you can see here in the, I still need to use the animation blueprint. I just created a graph node, an in node, and in here I am just sending as a parameter the state tree, which is this guy here, and I can just connect this and compile, and it's the same thing. I am just using my controller, full stick, just so you can observe the 1D blend animation. Jumping, landing, jumping place, landing, and that's it. It's the same, but of course I have some bugs around, like in the blending between when you are transitioning and all that kind of stuff. But as I said, it was just a fast test I tried, and I think I'm really happy with the results that I got. It was just 4 days of work and I got this, and I think many more stuff can be added here, like for instance adding layers, so you can play another state tree on top of this and then just make it blend between each other, or I don't know, crazy stuff happening here. And also you have all the data more organized. So for instance, if I just select here and I can bind to my Anim instance and the blend parameters, and these are the blend parameters I just added in a plain old structure. So yeah, I just want to hear your thoughts. What do you think, guys? Does it work to keep working on this or no? Just keep doing animation blueprints.